And Deputy Inspector General of Police Administration, Police Gilbert Masengeli, is now a free man after the High Court set aside his conviction and sentencing. Masengeli was forgiven after he apologized and convinced the court on why he failed to honor summons seven times, as he was busy with matters of national security. The Deputy Inspector General also insisted that the three men who were allegedly abducted by people believed to be security officers were not in police custody. And as Gatete Njoroge reports, the Law Society of Kenya says Masengeli's freedom is not the end in their pursuit for justice for the over 20 people who are still missing since the start of the anti-government protests.
Hours before the lapse of the 7-day grace period given to Deputy Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli to present himself in court or start to serve his 6-month jail term, the man at the helm of the administration police honored the court order by availing himself in person. At hand to offer moral support was his colleague, the Deputy Inspector General of Police Kenya Police, Eliud Lagat. Attorney General Dorcas Oduor led the legal team that came in handy to defend Masengeli, who was convicted and sentenced for contempt of court.
I will thus allow Mr. Masengeli to take to the stand and redeem himself.
And straight to the business of the day, the court made a decision to have Masengeli take to the stand.
I swear by the name of Almighty God
to explain why he defied court summons and the whereabouts of the three men who were allegedly abducted from Kitengela but later found on Friday, a month later.
13th of September 2024.
On that very day, my Lord, I was still on my way now downwards because from Wajir we had to come back to those sides of Garissa, and in Garissa we had to traverse to those forward operating bases of our officers like in Welmerer. It was not a deliberate failure because I had also requested my assistant to come and represent me and the legal officer to do the same, my Lord.
Masengeli pleaded with the court to pardon him over the issue, which he blamed on important national security matters and which needed his attention.
I would like to apologize to the Lordship and the judiciary for the events that have transpired, leading to the orders of this court.
With the court convinced, Justice Lawrence Mugambi accepted the apology and stated that Masengeli's action to obey court orders was a show of respect to the independence of judiciary, whose main role is to safeguard the rule of law in the country.
This court is convinced that Mr. Masengeli regrets and is genuinely remorseful for the situation he finds himself in. It is not the intention of this court to punish a genuinely repentant man who has acknowledged his mistakes and offered an apology. I must arrive to the determination that Mr. Masengeli, through this purging process, has purged his guilt. And thus, both the conviction and sentence passed are set aside.
And with the ruling done, Justice Mugambi, who during the hearing of the case had raised concerns of intimidation after his security detail was once questioned by their boss over his movements and the recent withdrawal of his security, made a decision to recuse himself from the case on personal grounds.
Father, my Lord.
Law Society of Kenya, the petitioners, hailed the ruling of the court as a win for the people of Kenya in ensuring those in authority obey court orders.
We see a new dawn in terms of how Kenyan governance and those who are entrusted with public service, the state officers and the public officers, in how they respect and adhere to constitutional tenets as well as expected values and principles of governance.
LSK has also promised to amend the petition ahead of a hearing by the three-judge bench to be constituted by the Chief Justice to include all missing persons during the anti-government protests. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV, Nairobi.